How's it going, everyone? So obviously we're starting this sort of podcasting. We called it Evolv, as you can see, just up here.
We've got our friend Daniel doing all the artwork, so we thought we'd get him to put Evolv on there. Evolv is a podcast that we thought we'd put together, both Brendon and I, and pretty much what we're going to be doing is just having a chat. We're both personal trainers. We've both been in the industry for 3-4+ years, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we do have a whole bunch of experience. And even if one of our conversations can help one person, so be it. So we're just...
That's all we're trying to do.
Yeah,
just trying to
that's it.
Put our information or education together,
Yeah,
and try and see what comes out of producing it and giving it out to the world.
100%. So we'll start off by introducing ourselves. So my name is Rianon, and this is Brendon, and we both run a business called Dynamic Recov. We've been running it for the past
year,
coming up to
we're
a year.
approaching a year.
We're
approaching a year. Technically, we started in what, Jan, Feb?
Jan. We started in Jan,
and we're recording this on the 11th of November.
so we're gonna be posting this in the new year.
So we'll be a year when we actually post this.
It will be a year.
Once it actually comes out, we'll be a year. Okay, if you're seeing this right now, this is 1 year of Dynamic Recov being opened. Now, we're not going to be talking too much about Dynamic Recov, as that is our business, but that business isn't involved in the podcast world. However, if you do follow Dynamic Recov, you will see these podcasts on there.
Little snippets.
Yeah. Little snippets. Because we talk about lots of health and fitness stuff on this podcast, because that's what we live and breathe, right?
Yeah. So my name's Rianon. I've been a personal trainer for 4 years now. I started my journey doing my Bachelor of Exercise Sports Science. I did that for a 6-month stint. And I was a labourer for 6 months. I worked in the city as a personal trainer after I did my course. So that was a year. And then I did a year of a company called Totem Health. And then I did a year of F45. And then I did 6 months of Vision. And now we're here. So a bit of a roller coaster. I didn't really know what I wanted to do in my career, so I tried to dip my toes in every bucket that I could, just to get like a bit of variety and sort of understand where my passion lied. But now we're here, and we're here nearly 4 or 5 years out of school, and
6 years now.
6 years out of school.
Approaching 7. When they see this, it'll be 7 years.
It'll be 7.
So we graduated both in 2017.
Yeah.
What I can say is, for me personally, I'm a PT as well. I've been a PT for around the same time frame as Rianon. However, my journey started out of school. I went down the finance route. Went to uni to do economics. Did it for a year and realised, I didn't see myself rocking up in a business suit, walking to the city every day. I saw myself actually just pursuing my passion. So I fell out of that. Went and did Bachelor of Sports and Exercise Science as well, just like Ray, except I followed through.
Yeah, you did.
But at the end of the day, I followed through, he didn't. We're still in the same exact position. So, who wins?
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. What happened with me, and this is a story I wanted to go into as well. In my second year, one of my tutors, who I still respect a lot, sat me down and was like, you know what, I actually see you doing really well as a personal trainer. And I was thinking in my head, like, everyone that does this course wants to do physio, chiro, or go towards, extended learning. And he was like, why don't you try it out? Because I was always the type of guy that would walk into his class. He would always ask questions not based on the class, like just really weird questions. And I was always that guy that said, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that, whatever. And he was like, yeah, this guy catches my drift. So it was like, have you ever thought about becoming a PT? And I was like, no, I haven't actually thought of that. In this moment, I had gone through 15 jobs before I got to this. Let's just say I hate being managed by people, and now I'm a manager. So it kind of worked itself out. So what he said to me was a pivotal point, because he said, as soon as I finished my second year, I could actually be qualified as a PT, but I wanted to go one step faster and do it earlier. So I did the same course as you. I did an online. Did you do online as well?
No, I never did online.
Oh, okay, so I did like an online PT course. So I kind of just like rushed through it.
We did bits online, like little bits online, like a little bit
like
of theory
assignments
at
and stuff
home
like that.
assignments, but nothing like I think we just had to upload it online. That was about it, and then it'd check it.
Oh, no, check it, yeah. So for me, it was like purely all online,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then I got one of my mates. You know, don't tell AIPT this, but I got one of my mates to just tick me off as a mentor.
But he was a PT.
But he was a PT,
Okay.
and he did give me some tips.
There you go. So worked
But if
out.
we're being honest, I did a full 3-year degree where I was actually seeing clients and
yeah.
stuff like that. So, you know, weigh it up.
Don't leave that part out.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave that part out. So if AOPT sees this, that course doesn't really matter anymore because I've got a bachelor's.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, me and Ria are in the exact same position right now, running the same business, doing the exact same type of work, seeing the same type of clients. And I feel like the years that I've spent in the industry, it's not really the knowledge that you have, it's more the experience that you develop in this industry. I feel like going out there and meeting
more
people,
hands-on.
meeting people face to face, that's where you learn. That's where you
100%.
actually learn. Like, I have all this science, BS, I like to call it, and Ray likes to call me out and he's like, you know all this weird shit that makes no sense. And if I'm being honest, if I tell all my clients about the stuff that I know, they're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? No one cares. No one cares about your heart rate spiking when you're going for a 10-meter sprint. You know, I'm not training athletes. I'm training people in their, what would you say our main climb pace is? 30s to 50s,
Yeah, around
60s, something like that, yeah. But yeah, so now what we do is we focus on trying to help a wide variety of people. And that's what we're kind of doing with our business done with Greek Hub.
Yeah. So we came together a year ago and we were like, this is when we first rekindled after missing each other year after year.
There's a big story
I had
on
a
that
girlfriend, he had a girlfriend at the wrong time. Anyway, we all worked it around.
No, you have to quickly tell them. All right, so in our younger years, me and Ree were told by the boys that we were the type of guys that when we got a girlfriend, we went missing for a period of time. So what happened was I had a girlfriend, I went missing, and then he was actually in the group. Then when he had a girlfriend, he went missing, I came back. So we were always like kind of interlocking out of parts.
In and out. But,
So we'd casually see each other, but it wasn't like, we didn't have enough of a connection to see each other outside of our group settings.
and then
Until we reconnected when we were both single.
back end of last year, no, I wasn't single. You were.
I was single, so I got out of something.
You got out of something, and then we rekindled, and then it's now nearly been a year, and
We started this in your garage,
We did.
funny enough.
We did, and
Yeah.
now we're here. So yeah, that's how we met, and we pretty much just put our two PT brains together, and with the help of our other friend as well, we've made this business to a point where we have some time to do a podcast like this. So now that we've sort of like balanced all our priorities and tasks out, now we can like have a bit of fun and chat and just see how long we can talk for. Test
Yeah, exactly,
ourselves.
because we feel like we're not really doing this podcast to, I don't even know, like we're not trying to do this podcast for anything other than just us coming together and talking, providing the world with information.
It's like a little bit of a, how would you call it?
We talk so much shit.
We talk all day to people about personal training and stuff, and
Well, like,
these people.
what's a way that we can actually communicate that to the world
well,
in a better way?
yeah,
'Cause,
just sort of
you know,
spread the word.
I don't know if you know this. Oh, everyone knows this.
Mhm.
Knows this. Social media, you only have 15 seconds to give someone a point.
Yeah.
But with our knowledge, we feel like 15 seconds, it's pretty limited to what we can actually provide.
Yeah.
Whereas if we can set up a whole hour podcast and give all the information that we know, we feel like we can provide a lot more value.
100%.
I feel like anyway.
100%. Now, I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. But what led you to be a mobility coach?
Ooh. Okay. Now, for me, I've always been involved in sport. Always been involved in sports from a young age. I was a football player, not professional or anything. Just wanted to preface that. I was a Sunday league man. I'd say like I was elite in the Sunday league world, alright? I was like the center of the park, midfielder. Never gonna make it. And I knew that. I knew that from a young age. I was never gonna make it. But I was like, you know, I'm okay with being a Div 1 specialist, key man in the middle of the park, solid. Anyway, so through the years, in my position, we do go through like heavy tackles. I have to do a lot of work. You would know because you're in a similar position yourself. I was the last. I was a guy that was able to get carded because you'd rather the midfielder get carded than the centre back. So it was kind of me that had the role of side tackles and doing all the rough stuff and
Cleaning up.
yeah,
We
cleaning
call
up.
it cleaning up.
Cleaning up. I was the guy that cleaned up the field, all right? So I got into some pretty weird positions, especially on the football pitch, that resulted in heaps of injuries. I can list off the top of my head. I've got an injury in every single joint in my body, and I was always seeing physios. I actually went through physios like girlfriends through the years. Now, what ended up happening for me was I realised, nah, I want to stay in sport because whenever I got an injury, I hated myself. I was so bored. I hated the fact that I couldn't train. I hated the fact that I was not active because I've always been an active guy. And I was like, nah, I've got to do something about this. So I started mobility training, which is the type of training that physios give you. Like they give you those homework tasks. Like
But more repetitive.
yeah, and I just created it into programs and now I've just dedicated my life to it. And I'm really movable. I feel confident, I feel strong, and I feel like I can get into weird positions without getting an injury. So that's what's got me down that path and why I love training that way, and I'll continue to do it and push it out to the world. What about you, Ray? For you, I want to know like what's a memorable moment in your fitness journey?
Okay. Good
Like,
question.
what I'm trying to say with this, like, what's a big moment that you've had in your whole career, but like also fitness life as well?
Okay. I'm a group trainer. Like I classify myself as a good group trainer. So, or I'd like to hope so.
He's a community builder, this guy.
So, I was always doing. So the company that I was with, Totem Health, they were doing group sessions mostly to start off, and then they built up to me being their first PT. And then after that, I went into F45, and I went into something that I knew I was confident in.
Yeah.
Because I still wasn't unsure of where my path lied. Or laid. Lied.
Lied, yeah.
Lied. Anyway.
Lied, laid.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Then I sort of discovered the realm of group training and how it like builds communities tenfold.
Well, you did a few jobs, didn't you? Like you did Totem, you did F45.
Yeah, and Vision as well. So there were
Oh,
like
there we
my
go. So you
three.
kind of did a few times.
Did it a few times, but then obviously
And you've always loved it.
yeah, I just pulled away from it a bit when I was at Vision because I was like, I just want to focus on the PT, but I still did the group classes. I still had it in me. But yeah, my most memorable moment was probably running a group session of 40 people and having everyone in that session just absolutely dying. But it was like it wasn't like dying. But
They weren't like dead, but like...
it was a good test for me. And the one thing with group training is you've got to have like 40 eyes on everyone. Because
yeah, that's what's always scared me about it.
There's injury prevention, like you've got to do a whole bunch of thinking behind the exercise that you're doing. So you have to really regress the exercises, but still make sure. You have to still make sure that the groups so I would split it up into 4 groups of 10, and they'd all do similar exercises or the exercises that were on the cone that I wrote. So that way, all the body weight exercises were done in the first 20 to 30 minutes. And then we had 15 minutes to do like a little bit of cardio extra. So that was my biggest. And then client-wise, I had a client lose 15 kilos in 18 weeks. That was good.
That's massive.
That was a good one.
That's massive.
And that was at Vision as well. That was really, really good.
But yeah, to teach someone that skill of being able to lose weight.
Yeah.
It's like awesome. 15 kilos in 18 weeks, that's a massive...
That's huge.
Massive target
huge.
to hit.
Just like, just under a kilo a week being lost.
Yeah, and a lot of people, and that's a big thing in the industry, right? A lot of people think because of these fad diets out there that losing 1 to 3 kilos a week is normal. It's definitely not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
I think we can go down the nutrition route, but yeah, the big thing in the industry is all these diets. But if you follow people like James Smith and evidence-based training, they always tell you
Adam Saleh.
Yeah. And they always tell you, Brendon was explaining this to me yesterday, and it made more sense when he did these little hand things, but...
This is where the science stuff comes out.
So, calories in versus calories out. If you're doing that, you're maintaining your weight. If you go into a calorie surplus, you're going to increase your weight. If you go into a calorie deficit, then you're going to lose weight. It's as simple as that. But then a lot of people
Complicate things and
there's complications, there's medical conditions, there's a whole bunch of things that like throw people left and right with what is the right diet. You can just pull back everything, look at what you're eating, and then just go, okay, I shouldn't be eating this, but I can supplement it with this. So a lot of people don't eat protein. Pescatarians only eat fish. Vegetarians only eat veggies. But there's a lot of protein sources in those substitutes. So you can go down a whole rabbit hole. We're not going to go on about nutrition.
You know, one thing that I have noticed with a lot of people is I feel like a lot of people know how to eat well. A lot of people know the right way to eat,
It's the decision.
It's a discipline to just stick to it.
The
They don't know how to just like, sometimes it must suck. Let's be honest, it sucks to eat healthy or be healthy all the time. And I had 4 beers last night. You know, I'm not some perfect guy, right?
It was our mate's birthday, just a preference.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have it every
I
Saturday
don't do that all the time. Yeah.
It's a once-off thing.
Well, you have to say that.
Yeah.
Look, there will be some times during the week where I'm just like, sneaky beer. All right, so what I'm trying to say is most people should, or I believe, know how to eat well for, maintaining their weight, losing weight. They just go into this spiral thinking that there's some magic trick to losing weight or being off weight, being fit and healthy. They feel like there's some magic pill that they're not taking, where if you're just honest with yourself, just do what's right. There's the Australian dietary guidelines out there. If you just follow those, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Occasional foods, keep them occasional. Veggies and carbs, they should make up a big portion of your diet.
It's all about balance. Just balance.
Balance
your life.
Balance is key.
If you know you're going to have a few beers one night, just make sure you eat healthy throughout the day. And then it balances it out.
It does.
It's as easy as that.
It's as easy as that.
But that's what it comes down to. Is just the discipline.
And definitely don't, because I've heard a lot of people do this where they'll binge eat or go on a binge drinking.
Yeah.
Then the next day think that they have to outrun what they did yesterday. They have to catch up with the calories. Like they'll get on the treadmill and they'll try and match the calories that they overate the last day, whatever. I believe you can never outrun a bad diet. Try to prove me wrong. Let me know in the comments. But unless you're like powering through every single day, you won't be able to outrun my diet. I'll tell you that one right now. So I have to make sure that my diet's pretty across the board, like pretty well. Otherwise, I can easily smash out 4,000 calories. And I'm sorry, I won't be able to burn 4,000 calories in a day unless my whole life was dedicated to just training and burning calories for the food. And I don't want to live like that. Sorry. I want to have my cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I've got a microphone that's not connected, but it is. We're just
It isn't.
We're just completely doing this raw. So
this is podcast one.
This is podcast one. This is
everyone that's out
one.
there. Obviously, we want this to be coming out every single week. We don't know exactly how we're going to schedule this because we are creating the videos or the content 2 months before this is going to be released. Obviously, by the time it is released, we're going to have a few more systems in place to know exactly what we're doing. But for now, we're kind of just doing this for fun. We have a target right now to hit 20 hours of podcast content before we even release anything at all. So that is our target. If we don't reach that, no one's going to see this video.
Yeah.
So for me, like right now, it's all about just getting this content out, creating it, seeing how we go with this content together.
See what we can pull out of it as well.
Go from there.
It can, as everyone knows, there's a lot of, you can scroll for hours and watching people on podcasts. And we thought, why not give it a go? It's not our forte. It's something that we've literally just jumped into, and
This is our first thing.
We thought, why not? Let's just jump in the deep end and try something out. Because
what's that quote you said? You had that mad quote.
Try your, what is it? Something you're hard. Something about, no. Something about
Oh, cut
choose
it,
your
cut it.
hard. It was like choose your hard or something like that.
It's you said something about you said this to me the other day. It was something about like be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
Yeah.
one. I think that was Alex Formosi.
Yeah, I think that's the
It
one.
was Alex
So
Formosi.
what I took from that is do things. I was something along the lines of that, like do things
That make you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
do
that
things
do-
that make you uncomfortable in order for you to find where your passion lies. It was Robert Kawasaki.
That's the one.
That's the
That's the
one.
one. That's where you got it from.
That's where I got it from.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
what we took from that was like, let's just say like we're not super confident in front of cameras. I don't know many people that are.
it's been built up. Like we've been doing a lot of content on socials,
Yeah.
but
So if you follow our page, Dynamic Recon, you'll be able to see our heads
we should put the
everywhere.
plug here at Dynamic Recon.
At Dynamic Recon,
Instagram.
just here, and Evolv.
But we've never really done something like this, and we're not doing it to impress anyone. We're just doing it to do it, and
We're doing it for fun. At the end of the day.
yeah, that's it. It's a bit of fun, and you know, if
And if
people
you
watch
enjoy
it,
our content, we want it to be open so then people can always ask us questions as well. Remember that I would say that me and Ray are both really good PTs. You know, you can say whatever you want to that kind of question. One thing about personal trainers as well is most PTs, when they've been in the industry for a while, end up specialising.
and niching down.
Niching down, finding a certain section of the health and industry market and kind of specialising in that area. For me, I've already realised for me it's going to be mobility coaching. So for me, it's all about flexibility and strength training. That's what I do in the gym. That's what I teach and preach.
Yeah, there's so many avenues that like, I don't know. There's not anything that I've seen that talks about everything. So we thought, why not put a podcast together and just talk about everything?
Talk about our life, talk about our training, talk about health things,
Yeah.
the health and fitness industry, because we're going to break down some myths in this podcast. actually.
we just want to create balance. We want people's lives to be balanced and healthy. So like, why not just talk about it? And if we can get a few people that like it, sweet, awesome. You come along for the ride, I say.
Come along for the ride. Join the Evolv podcast.
Now, going on myths, what do you think is the biggest myth in the fitness industry?
Oh, I was talking to you about this the other day. I can't believe I forgot it already.
I think we were talking about how training from a
That
young
was your
age.
one.
That was
Yeah.
my one.
So you can
And
talk about your one.
your one was, what was your one? I'll talk about my one first and see if you can remember.
Yeah. Let's see if I can remember my one.
So there's the biggest myth is for kids, you shouldn't be training weights. You shouldn't be training weights because it stunts your growth. It does stunt your growth, but there's ways around it. Now, you don't want to obviously go super, super heavy. If you go super, super heavy, you're going to just compress your spine. You're compressing your spine. If you're doing squats, 100 kilos, young age, and you haven't properly trained for it or developed a skill like squats or learning how to engage your core or learning how to engage your glutes on the way up or your quads, like you've got to really learn about your body. So the development side of training while you're younger is different to training like a 25-year-old. Because if a 13-year-old,
25-year-old, like the way I'd break it down is because that 25-year-old has been in that body or that shape for a long time, right?
and
So
the
they've gotten used to
testosterone
their
stops at
muscle.
22.
Yeah,
all
they've
those
gotten used
things.
to their muscle mass. They've gotten used
Yeah.
to how their body moves and everything, like we have.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you just got used to being, this tall yesterday because you're growing taller every single day. Your bones are growing, your muscles are growing. That's what happens to adolescence.
You haven't fully hit puberty yet. So like in that
In that
span
period,
of your
you
life,
shouldn't be lifting heavy weights unless, Australian strength coach, right? His daughter is still, I would say, an adolescent child. I'd say like between, I don't know, I'm not going to say how old she is. I feel like she's around 16, 15, 16
yeah,
or
I
something.
think something like that.
Yeah, so his daughter is doing powerlifting. But to me, he's like one of the top guys for strength coaching. His name's Australian Strength Coach. You can see him on Instagram. I would say like he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's an actual beast. He holds seminars. I actually wouldn't mind going to one day. So he teaches how to do deadlift, squats, and bench press. Those three big lifts. Obviously, he teaches a lot more than that. but that's one of his pillars.
Like his niche. That's like his niche.
Yeah, oh, that's one
Yeah,
of his niche in
that's
the
one of his
industry.
niches.
Teaching those 3 big lifts, which essentially those 3 lifts would give you a full body workout
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I saw a video once, and I showed Ray as well, of his daughter doing like a really heavy squat or deadlift. I think I showed you, Ray.
Yeah, I remember.
Massive, and I was so impressed because I was like, I've never seen such a small young person lift such heavy numbers. But in my head, I was like, her dad is Australian strength coach, man. You got to have faith in that guy.
The thing is, it's
because he taught her the
how
proper
you
technique.
train them. It's how you train them,
100%.
not how you train.
Yeah. So he would have taught her how to feel her glutes, taught her how to engage her core, how to make sure that her shoulders are rounded, to make sure that she's not just popping out her shoulder blades.
Blades tucked in.
Chest
So proud, shoulders
all
in.
that stuff would have been done before she even touched the bar. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah,
I don't even have to know anything about her training, but he would have done.
There's a lot of foundation beforehand, and that foundation beforehand really can change the way you develop with your strength training, because it just sets you up for consistency further on in life as well.
Yeah.
So, as I said, it's the way you it's how
it's skill development.
It's how you develop beforehand that will benefit you in the long run. So, the big myth of kids not being able to train weights and it stunts your growth. Yes and no. Yes and no.
Yeah, you know what? This is an open debate.
It's an open debate.
I would never say for a child to walk into a gym, just because unless they have like some experienced personal trainer that has been with the kids before and trained them. Like me and Ray have trained kids before. I'm not getting him under a bar, if I'm being honest. For starters, I do all outdoor training, so I'm not gonna walk him into the gym and be like, oh, let's do some heavy squats today, because I don't really set those kind of goals and targets with someone that's 10 years old. But I'll teach them how to do a squat and having the balance and making sure that they learn those skills.
Going back on like the social media, what do you think's like just us being on social media? What do you think's the biggest trend that's sort of kicking off at the moment?
Trend.
In the fitness. What do you think is the biggest trend in the fitness industry at the moment?
Oh, definitely calories. I feel like...
So nutrition.
Yeah, nutrition. I feel like the biggest thing that's talked about in the industry at the moment is nutrition, because I feel like, again, I'm going to talk about how most people believe that, you should be able to get from point A to B really quickly. Because on social media, you see all these ripped guys, you see all these jacked females, and you're like, wow, like I want that body, right? And they feel like they can get there in 30 days because programs are pushed out that say get fit in 30 days. By my programming, 60 days you're going to look like me. It's pushing out all these negative behaviors around the way you should look, and what healthy looks like. And what people are pushing at now is this calories thing. Like, I'm sure you might have heard the words calorie deficit, calorie surplus, calorie maintenance. All those things might not make sense to a lot of people, but Ray just broke it down before. Calories in is basically the food that you take into your body, food and drinks and everything that comes into your body that provides you with energy. That's how I would describe it. Calories out is obviously your daily movement patterns. You actually burn calories during your sleep. So from the moment you go to sleep until you wake up, in a whole 24-hour window, you're burning calories. At rest, out of rest.
What's that called again?
So you got
BMR?
like a few.
BMR?
Yeah, so BMR is
basal metabolic rate.
Yeah.
So what you burn just doing nothing.
Yeah, that's the one that you burn doing nothing. Then you've got NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
Jeez.
Science.
Did you go to uni?
So NEAT is basically, non-energy activity is basically like you don't plan it, so it's not in your head to plan that thing. It's basically just happens. Like walking upstairs. Deciding to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Like that might have been a choice.
So there's BMR, and then there's
NEAT, which makes up the next biggest.
So it's the next level. What's
next
after
level?
NEAT? Exercise.
After exercise. Yeah,
so
but it's also such a small percentage as well.
that do
And
those three phases?
the
Oh,
exercise.
okay.
So the exercise is only makes up 5 to 10%
Exercise makes 5 to 10%.
of your total burning of calories.
Really?
Yeah. So even if you run yourself to the
I
ground,
didn't know that.
I would tell you right now that the walking, the typing at your laptop all day, the brain power that you're thinking all day, choosing the stairs instead of the elevator, even being in the elevator, pacing during the day.
So that's all neat.
That's all neat. So all those things actually make up 30% of your total energy use throughout a whole day.
There you go.
That's why there's this guy called Duran Cartel. He's friends with James Smith, you know him, right? His whole thing is on neat.
Oh, so that's his niche.
That's his niche.
So
His niche is saying...
niche is neat.
Yeah, that's his niche. I think his business is called Neat Up.
Oh, nice.
So his goal is to like help you improve your neat or increase your neat.
Yeah.
And what he's saying with that is, instead of taking the elevator or escalators, walk up the stairs. Or instead of taking the car down, or he said one of his videos, he actually said, park away from the train station. So then you have to actually walk to the train station instead of being really close proximity. Yeah. So that's increasing the neat in that way.
The one biggest trend that I've seen at the moment has been the technology, like the different types of equipment that is out there now is crazy. The bodybuilders back in the day and the exercise gurus back in the day never had technology like they do today.
Oh, I love it, man.
Like there's squats, like you can do squats
on the pendulum, pendulum
yeah,
spin.
Yeah, bro. Like there's so much stuff.
Video of like him going down and he was going that way, and I was like, what the hell? It looks like a swing.
There's so much technology out there, and it's just the gyms are ever evolving every single day.
Evolving? Yeah, they're evolving.
See what I did there? Yeah. A bit of a spice on everything, nice.
Yeah, so but honestly, like I was like to say, go back to the basics.
It's good to start at the basics. That's just a big trend that I've seen.
It's cool. It is cool though.
It's a big trend. Your trend that you said.
For me, I always like to say kiss.
Keep it stupid simple.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, that's
all right. So for me, like, give me a pair of kettlebells. I'm sweet for a session. All right.
Sorted. You can look. There's people that want to go to the gym. There's technology there. You can go ballistic. Nothing as good as the basics. Nothing as good as the basics. The basics are the fundamental reason that everyone is exercising and doing group sessions and going to just doing a whole bunch of things.
Everyone wants the fancy. Yeah. The fancy. And if you just did the work that was required of you, problems would go away.
100%. 100%. I think if you're struggling to start your fitness journey, give us a call. You're more than welcome to, or shoot us a message.
Or send us an email.
Or send us an email.
The link's below in this video.
Do whatever you want, but you know it always takes the first step of starting your fitness journey is the next day, or the next minute.
Taking action.
Taking action the next day or the next minute.
And making that step forward. Yeah. That's just how you do it.
Making that step forward.
All right. So, what I want these listeners to have, like, I want them to have a say in this podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want that to be a thing here. So, wherever you're seeing this content, wherever you're seeing this video, I want you to actually shoot us a comment, ask us questions.
Yeah.
Like, we're free to open up our next podcast with answering some of your questions. Anything that we've said in this podcast, you can debate us on.
More than welcome.
Even our open debates, you can continue them on, because we didn't actually agree on that thing before. What was it that we didn't agree on? The kids training.
Yeah.
So we're talking about kids training and saying how, what was it they were saying? Like we were deciding whether kids should train when they're younger or they shouldn't. And we were undecided whether it's good or bad, because there's studies out there saying it's good, studies out there that say it's bad. It's kind of a hit and miss field. We believe our standpoint on it is teach the skills, make sure they're able to do human bodily movements well. I like to say the 7 primal movement patterns. We'll go into that later.
Yeah, that's for another day.
That's another topic. But yeah, we're going to actually set up email reminders.
Yeah.
We have to think about this because we haven't actually pushed this out yet.
The whole reason for this podcast is just to create conversation, create a debate like we did today. Grow a little bit of understanding for other people as well. So we'll have guests and stuff as well. We just want to broaden our horizons with our knowledge, and by chatting, there's no better way to broaden your knowledge than to chat with someone that you never, or listen to someone that you never thought you'd watch. So there's a whole bunch of things. Put everything in an email and send it to us. Any questions that you have, we'll set everything up in the link below. And yeah,
And we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. To
Evolv.
Lou from Evolv Podcast, we're out.
Later.